And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship stream. You can be watching from anywhere around the country or the world. And I really appreciate every single one of you coming to you from the Spaceship Studios from a galaxy far, far away. And going here. All right. So, hello there, Aaron. It is great to see you as always, and hope you're having a nice Saturday. Yeah. So, going on today, let's see. New jury duty company retreat released today. Oh, okay. Okay, nice. Nice. You'll be binging tomorrow. Yeah. It definitely seems like a good show to watch. Yesterday when we were watching the Corey Richins juror who was on the did an interview that we watched yesterday, she was talking about how she was watching that too. I remember that you mentioned it before. Yeah, and last night I had a good garden live. We met some new people and went through saw the different banded puppies, which are raccoons. We call the raccoons banded puppies. Yeah. So we did that. I Yes, juror number 3. Yes, yes. That certainly was a great interview. I where okay. So yeah, she did very well, and she wasn't familiar with trials like we are, and to see her be able to adapt over time, adapt to the trial that she was watching, that she was in, although it was a very traumatic, crazy trial to watch, to be involved in, I think she did handled herself well and the way she spoke about it and everything. So yeah, definitely would like to see more jurors come out and talk about the trials that they were doing, because we've seen that before on the show when the jurors come out, because with they have a very important job indeed. Hello, Commander. Welcome to the show. And Bubbles. A moment ago, I was over there with Bubbles, hanging out. I, and then I was able to come back over here. Yes, definitely a fair jury, and I was glad too because Corey was clearly guilty, and she had no interest in seeing Corey Richins ever in person at all. I don't blame her. There was some other cases that we were talking about the other night. We were going to be, looking into, because there's some new people on the channel, and we were discussing some of these cases, these missing person cases that we, uh, I think, have they're not really too sure who did what. Some of these missing people, and those are always very cool to dive into. I was working on some different shorts today, which I got that done, and then I was able to go over here. Yeah. And Aaron, is it snowy where you are still, or has it melted? Where I am, it's warming up again, but it's always warming up where I am. And we're gonna be reacting to some new trials, which you recently saw the Afro Man trial, and we're going to be reacting to some of the new ones. The Hawaii trial allegedly. Oh, gracious greetings, Eugene. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Oh, and that was a cool this last night to see you, by the way. And yeah, so okay, yeah, so yeah, snow is melting just in time. Another storm coming tomorrow. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, just you need a snowcation I need a spacecation, and you need a snowcation. Yeah. So that would be good to for you to have, because there's, especially around this time of year. I don't know when the snow really ends for you, but that's definitely when it needs to be done. Okay, that one, the giant. I saw that video on X, Twitter, but I've not seen it recently. Let's see, is it more? Yeah, and just to give you all like a summary about what that's about, and the there's a giant buried UFO over the original investigation. According to Cohart, the craft is located outside of the United States and is hidden beneath the facility used for the laudatory purpose, such as public building. And there's theories that it's a type of UFO though, and yeah, I saw it on X, but definitely think that is something indeed. And let's see here. So we are, although we have still trials that we're going to be reacting to that we haven't finished, we are going to be looking in the Parkland trial, and that was one Anna suggested that we were watching, and it was quite uh, wild. It was quite interesting uh, because the opening, we're watching the defense opening, which we're going to be continuing to watch, and there's someone with glasses in the background, and she looks like she's like one of the minions from the cartoon. So trials can definitely have their funny moments, and they're very unpredictable, even while rewatching them. So, and trials are cool because it's public domain where there's no copyright issues usually from trials. Because so many times, like watching a movie like on YouTube would be pretty much impossible at a certain point because of the copyright problems. And Aaron says 5 to 10 centimeters. Wow. Yes. Yes. That is quite a bit. Yeah. And definitely there needs to be a change in scenery, because usually where we are and other parts of the country, even farther up north, usually spring would come sooner around this time of month, and I suppose over where you are, the spring is much it comes a little bit later than it does. But there needs to be an end to these storms, and they are absolutely annoying. Indeed, they even if it's rain or snow, but snow especially, where you have to go through kind of like slush, and it could be difficult to maneuver in. Although it is pretty looking, it still could be quite a annoyance to deal with, especially even rainstorms too. Hello, Zero. Welcome to the stream. What did you blow up this time? Oh, this time what was blown up was a fuse, a Timu fuse over down in the brig. And the brig commander explained to me that it happened over there. So, and I must have been going too far a little bit too harsh with one of the thrusters. Not the thruster, it was one of the buttons I was pushing. I kept pushing it, and then one of the fuse blew. One of the fuse went out. Right, Eugene says, I never knew about the giant UFOs. They seem to be covered by giant buildings and are very old. Yeah, and the see with those UFOs, they almost turn into a part of the ground. Yes, lessons learned. Yes. It was not the bridge, it was the brig. Okay, and you see, from a long time ago, those UFOs probably landed there, and there's a point where it becomes a landmass in itself, where it gets grown over and things grow, go on top of it. It becomes like part of the land. So what you saw, in my opinion, is something very old. If it's either from space or here, it was something old. And I do think it may have been a crashed UFO from a long time ago that was here. Exactly. There's different land masses that are supposed to be part of nature, but they actually are not part of nature. They were structures that were there from even giants. Like there's parts of giants. In my opinion, there was parts of giants that are now seen as rocks or parts of mountains, but they really were fossil. They're like fossilized is the right word for it. So when you have something that is fossilized, they are it becomes like part of the landmass, but it really was something else at one time. There is this in the desert over North Africa. There was this big dragon-looking thing. There's like a mountain that's a dragon shape, of very faintly. There's a theory that that was a dragon, or some kind of creature like that fell there. So long time ago. So the point is that I'm making here is that yes, I do believe there could be giants or UFOs. If we made them, or if UFOs were made by aliens, they can still be there, created by them, and be fossilized over time. Hello, 666. Happy Saturday, Alien. Aaron Moki made a pit stop in Alter. I was surprised. Good to see her roll through. She was waiting for your live. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, shout out to you, 666. I appreciate the update. And there is Moki. Welcome to the chat. Glad to have you here. And stopping again sometime. And okay, if there is an issue with the fuse again, change it out with. Oh yes, you could share the photo. Definitely. Yeah, send it to me and I'll put it on the screen. Um, there's an issue with the fuse again. Change it out with this. Puts a fuse on Alien's desk right now. Only do it slight upgrade, and it blows up again. Okay. Ah, okay. Thank you, 666, for the info. All right, and now we're going to put this on the screen. Okay, here we go. All right, switching over. But we're gonna be watching more of this, by the way. But now we're gonna put this a cool picture on the screen. This. Alrighty, here we go. Time for a read. I love these links. Love these links. We were wheels up on priority tasking and zero brief, zero questions. And all we got was escort two special visitors. They brought them out under the full control. Two grays, easy 10 feet tall. I've moved high value assets before, but nothing like that. Not even close. We loaded them onto the Lockheed C-130 Hercules. The cargo bay prepped, lights, low crew, tight-lipped. Nobody spoke unless it was mission essential. Touchdown. At Groom Lake night, OP restricted a runway waiting on the tarmac and was modified Army tractor trailer roof raised so the assets could remain upright. That told me everything. This wasn't first contact, this was routine. As transferred custody, I caught a plainclothes handler shutting down an Air Force colonel. Negative S-2 Alpha is off table. Routine DARC flight access only. Alright, D somewhere in the lake bed where two just escorted. Okay. So these are really cool. These are two aliens. Alright, these are two tall grays allegedly being escorted. And yeah, you can see here, let's make it bigger. Do that. Alright, and you see right here, we see how tall they are compared to the Earthlings. And they are basically giants, just like we've talked about in the Book of Enoch, the Bible, and they're allegedly, which I believe, which is factual, is working with them, and that was them walking with the troops. And this shows the correlation between our troops working along with aliens, and it is a way to even visualize it. And I know people that are in the military, multiple people, and they have all told me that there are extraterrestrials, and they've seen them before, a military basis. So there is a link between us working with the aliens. And Moki says, "I don't know. I'm not liking how it looks like the one on the left had a bun." Yeah, I could see that. The way it looks like it has a bun there, like has its hair all up, like it's gonna go to a party or something like that. Yeah, it's almost like human looking with the way it looks like a bun. Yeah. Yeah, it's sometimes like with these aliens, you could see all kinds of crazy shapes within them that you usually see on maybe on humans or something else. They definitely can walk or act very different than how we are. It's in a way they even look like two tall, like small tree, not like small, not smaller trees, but younger trees. That's what they even seem like, and their hands sort of like intersect. So yeah, definitely very mysterious tall grays. Yeah. I like how the other troops are just nonchalantly walking up the staircase of the aircraft while they just follow behind. Yeah. I like how the aliens, that's like, they usually are not wearing anything except Skinny Bob. Skinny Bob has modesty to him. He is ahead of his time, because many of these aliens don't wear anything. Or maybe they wear some kind of cloak that's more synthetic and invisible to our eyes. Yeah. I was watching the information today about McCaslin and I believe Reza, the other woman that went missing in that region that was involved with the scientist stuff. And yeah, I think, my opinion, there are these extraterrestrials, and the Epstein stuff too is linked to it, where they want to have certain people that were involved with this to disappear. That is what I think is likely the reason. There could be other reasons why they disappeared. Someone else could have had something to do with it. But yeah, definitely, although I know there are fakes out there, it's definitely a real thing to be looking into and be concerned with. Because they want to censor the truth. The fact they're censoring things means the truth is out there. And last night, Moki, many people, we were having conversations about the extraterrestrials and the alien conspiracies, and lots of people are also on the same page with us. It was a a great garden live last night. So we're going to keep on exposing this and talking about these different things, and more is coming out about them. Right. And also, Moki, I believe today you had the pool day today, and I I'm sure it all went well, and I hope it was nice and fun. It was, I believe today you had no quest. It was more of a pool day. So yeah, I so I'm glad to have everybody here. And now at this time, oh, and if people have more information or something they want to talk about, feel free to bring it up. But at this point, I'll put on the Parkland trial of the opening of it that we were watching, but it got cut off when during one of the Timu net outages. Okay, here we go.
And an opening statement.
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello there, Aaron. Welcome back. Yeah, and Aaron says hello to 666 and Mogi. Now, I'll also say, Aaron, last night is, yeah, on the with the phone lives, we were definitely having conversations about the stuff we talk about in the show. Oh, that was an accident. Okay, yeah. Thanks for clarifying. And yeah, it's basically so cool to see other people around, also talking about the things that, meeting like-minded people about these cases and theories is definitely a popular topic now. And I learn a lot from all of you and Moki's links too. She really is able to dig up pretty much everything that I've never even heard of before, which is good to get more information. And we're talking about the Gilgamesh theory and the different wars over there. That's why they were trying to go in Iraq. And glad to have you back here, Aaron. And yeah, Aaron, I harvested one of the plants, and I'll send you the update about it. And this time, yeah, it's a Dookie time. Yeah, a Dookie time. Yeah, I was able to go and use a little shovel this time to get it out the ground, because last time I did it, I kind of broke it up in pieces. But this year, I got it right. Yeah, and I will be clearing out the parts of the yard for more of the plants to grow, because we have some. Although right now it's getting warmer, I'll have some more summer and spring type plants to have there. Yeah, it's scared, Aaron. Scared. Let's see. Okay, and Aaron says, "Yay, alien! I'm building a new seed starting shelf tomorrow with my dad. Little seed. It'll send you pics, update flowers and veggies." Okay, okay, and oh, I will be very glad to see that new seed starting shelf, and those are always cool to have. I did that stuff with the peppers. I started them out in winter when it was cold, and I kept them inside until I put them outside for them to get bigger in the spring. And the flowers are a nice touch too. Those because I have wildflowers that are growing around outside right now, but I will have one of that I plant manually. Right. So some flowers I have are come back annuals, some are just wild. Yeah, so we definitely have those different kinds also. Yeah, so I definitely will look forward to seeing that. It is good to grow uh, our own food. It's good to have, because, and sometimes, as I said, the food you grow in the garden is much better than food that you grow out in the food that comes to the grocery store. Like I keep saying about broccoli, it looks so much different looking when it's from the yard over outside in the grocery store. Right. Aaron said I'm doing cosmos, zinnas, marigolds, and snow in summer for companion planting. Yeah, I was wondering, Aaron, which ones you're growing, and you read my mind because I was about to ask you. So those sound very nice. Very nice. Oh, you're delaying your actual summer. Yes, yes. Okay. So, and I'll tell you all about these different ones that she's talking about. The Cosmos are really good. I have Cosmos, and Zennas I don't have just yet. But those, which I believe we talked about on the show before, and I'm glad that you went with those. I one thing, Aaron, what vegetables are you growing? If I read correctly, you're growing vegetables. I'm wondering what you are growing. Oh, by the way, all right. Cosmos are typically the tallest, often 3 to 8 feet. Wispy fern like foliage and airy blooms in the shades of pink, white, and purple. They should be planted at back of the garden bed. The zinnias, available in vast arrays of bold colors, placed in the middle. Marigold, I call them marigolds, but they're probably called something. It's probably a different way to pronounce it. Yeah, the marigolds are very good because they are able to help against pests. Hey, Duke, welcome to the stream. Yeah, because the pests are, I don't like the marigolds. I remember when I had them. It was the time I was growing catnip. It was pretty cool to have them in the garden because it would protect the garden from the other things that would try to attack it. Aaron said peppers, tomatoes, really all kinds of stuff, carrots, cucumbers, potatoes. Oh, you're going all out. I am so proud. I am so glad to see this. Uh, you are going all the way. The peppers are very cool to have and are good to grow. It's really important to have that because they're very good in seasonings. They're good with the food, and sometimes I would like to eat peppers just by themselves. Those are very nice too. And yeah, tomatoes is something that my family likes to grow, and I like to grow it too. And yeah, okra is a nice one. Yeah, okra is a must. Yeah, yeah. I am gonna be growing that this summer, so I'll be starting on mine, and we'll be showing y'all that when I have mine out. Aaron said, "If you see pics of my harvest, it was a success. If I don't bring it up ever again, I failed." Yeah, and yeah, you fail. So when you have I've had times where mine failed before. It's especially during the drought. Another time I had a corn failure was because I only grew one row of corn. We were supposed to grow multiple rows. Because I've grown corn successfully, but yeah, it just you have to grow it in rows for it to be completely uh, going the way it's supposed to go. Yeah, because it's basically a type of grass. I have hybrid tomato seeds, and those are very cool to have. They make a very very big vine. It's very big, and it looks kind of like the size of a pumpkin. It's a very big tomato. So that's all nice to do. I like, as I said, potatoes. We were talking about that on the show yesterday, and we were talking about different types of food. Like there's some new people on the show, and they're asking me if I've had British food, and I said I've had that before. And like potatoes, I've not grown potatoes, but I know about how they're grown, and very nice. In Ireland, there's a famine that happened, and so there's a complicated relationship in Ireland with potatoes, but it affected all of Europe. It wasn't just Ireland. But yeah, it was a. That's another good plant to have. I've had a giant gardens. Grow corn, cherry tomatoes, okra, green beans, cucumbers, watermelon, and he said weed and pumpkins. Peppers, almost forgot peppers. Yeah, you definitely had quite a garden there. Yes. Yeah, that sounds like a very nice garden indeed. And yeah, cucumbers, I've grown that before. Those are good. And squash is another one that I liked. Yeah, it's yeah, zone 6B. Let's see. Yeah, zone 6B. Yeah, you see in that zone, different than my zone, you have to like watch what you grow on certain months. And well, this is some more information about zone 6, by the way. The last garden in Texas was 4 feet, 40 feet by 30 feet, about 3 feet deep with mulch. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is goals right there. All right. In zone 6B, what to sow plant, and this is in mid March. Leafy greens, lettuce, spinach, kale, argulia, Swiss chard, root vegetables, radish, carrots, beets, and turnips, other garden peas, potatoes, mid late March, onion sets. Flowers, cold stratified seeds like poppies, larksyrup, and sweet peas can be sown. Vegetables, tomatoes, bell peppers, jalapeno, and eggplant. Herbs, basil, rosemary, lavender, and parsley. Yes, there's some plants that you have to grow, put the seeds on top of the soil, and it comes up from underneath the water. Yeah, that is a way to do it. Flowers, zinnias, marigold, and cosmos can be started now for head of start. Yeah, so it looks like Aaron's got everything ready. There's flowers. There's reliable perennials in zone 6B is black-eyed Susans, daylilies, hosta, and salvia. Hydrangeas, azaleas, and butterfly bushes. Yeah, the snow definitely is a delay. One time, Aaron, I grew something and it was coming up around December, and the snow buried everything, but they all the plants survived because the snow acted as an insulator. I'm doing pumpkins to Alien. I'm nervous. It might not work, but we'll see. Yes, that is awesome. And a thing that you can do, Aaron. about the pumpkins is where you are. I don't know if there's a lot of there's bugs everywhere, but I don't know if there's a lot of them like where I am, because where I am is like a Duke knows it's like a jungle of uh jungle bugs everywhere. So so we're going where you are. Yeah, if you get like a bug net, you can put it on the plant, and that way, if there's something that tries to eat it, it won't be able to do it. And Duke also and he would have good suggestions too. Pumpkins need sandy soil, so keep that in mind too. You used to grow roses and all kinds of flowers, giant sunflowers. Oh, I did too. I'm almost like a Duke clone because I've also grown that too. So scared. Yeah, and I'm even doing this thing right here where I'm pulling out the photo album to show something. Let's see. It's yeah, but sunflowers are good too, and sunflower seeds are very healthy. Okay, and we're gonna close that out, and I'm going to put this thing right here. So I get my chickens end of April, putting a coop in the garden, hoping that helps prevent some pests. Not free range, but still. Oh, that is fine. And any questions, feel free to ask us. And one of my friends, she's I'll tell you about her. She's in the farming, and uh, yeah. But Aaron, I feel that you should still try it anyway, with the pumpkin, and just water it regularly. It will give it a chance, and I think that it may work. Yeah, because definitely where you are, Aaron, is originally where pumpkins were grown in that region. Yeah, so it'll still work. By the way, oh yeah, mini goats. Yeah, that is something very funny. Uh, my friend has mini goats, and those things are hilarious. Let's see. Um, no, because I'm still I was like looking for something, but I'll get it. Yeah, Demoki, stop. I even hinted to them getting my dad would already have 6 million yard. Mini cows are winning me over. Okay, so what happened with the cows? I mean, the mini goats. Those mini goats are so cute, so cute. I have a picture of mini goats and different stuff like that. I'm gonna show y'all. And let's see. Oh yeah, that button. Is it that button? Oh, might be the other thing. There it is. All right, let's see what we get in here. Did I send you the mini donkey? It was sleeping in the owner's bed. Scared. Yeah, mini donkeys lurking. Okay, we're getting pictures here for chat. Let's see. Yeah, because those are really cool. I like them. And oh yeah, we're just going to put this right here. We're gonna be switching over to the other screen. You used to have mini horses. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, she sure did. She sure did. Yeah, that was really cool. All right, I'm about to do it in a moment. Just kind of looking over some things. Yeah, Moki is the queen of reels, definitely. Um, this way. All right, so we're gonna get it for chat, like I said I would. I'm just seeing which ones I want to show. All right. Okay, that one. That looks pretty cool. Let's see what this is. All right, that's sweet. That's a nice picture. And there's a cow. There's a cow right there. We're gonna show them, and a little baby thing right there. Alrighty, here I come. Let's do that for now. Oh, you're waiting for the family to get there. That's what happened. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go there. And let's see what this is about. Okay. Switching over to the other screen. And shouts to the spaceship cats. And showing this. This is one of my friends' farm right there. There we go. Does that work? Does it work? It actually does not work because I have to upload it as a video. So, okay, so we're gonna just show you something, another thing. Okay, this is a cow from my friend's farm, right there. This is a cow from the farm my friend has. It's very cool. And Moki says EPA chiefly leading confirms that dangerous chemicals, including sulfur dioxide, are being released into the skies for geoengineering, health risks, environmental damage is guaranteed. It's official. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so Moki, thank you for that info. Finally, it's been proven. Yes, that is a cool cow for my friend's farm, and this is another. This is a peacock. Yeah. So on the. By the way, I was chased by a peacock before when I was little. I was in I told some people. I told Brig about it, and I probably told y'all about it 100 times from the other streams. But oh, your aunt leaves Tuesday. Well, Moki, I'm excited for you that you're gonna have a fun day tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. And the peacock chased me and Mary Toodles when I was in the stroller, and that was funny. But yeah, that's my friend's peacock, and she has a bunch of those things. And this one right here, all right, Duke said, so my upstairs neighbor is very loud ticks me off. Yesterday I was watching Arms Arms and Gold, and he says out, and he stays in a blue. And let's go here. Okay, and he says in a blue, and it's like having a buffalo living with you. I think the CIA is watching me. Hilarious, hilarious. Okay, and this is a little baby goat. This is one of them. Very cute that she has, and getting some more. And yeah, this is the peacock right here. We'll put it back up. Okay. And yeah, because I think that the animals are really cool to have, and people should, those that are able to do it, I think it's something good to get into. Yeah, so definitely, Aaron, that is a very, yeah, bring that. Okay, that's fair. Shall I send pointless voice notes? Voice notes. Scared. You got a screenshot too. Oh, scared. Oh yeah, I remember earlier I saw someone post about a the cat in the sink today. I remember that. That was a that cat had his own full bed right there. He had his own bed, and he was ready to sleep there, and he got a picture taken of himself. So that cat is the cutest thing. I mean, he has such a like a a, a cutesy look to him. I get so addicted anytime I see that cat. So cute. Yeah, he's definitely a pretty boy, indeed. Okay, there's a cat that I'll show that isn't around anymore, but she's very pretty. I'll show that, and okay, I got another baby goat to show y'all. I just had to kind of take a moment to look through these. Oh, greasy pizza is delicious. I got a pizza recently, and it was absolutely delish. Absolutely delish. But yes, New York style greasy. That is also very good. That's very good. There's also a goat that likes to give rides, also, and that my friend has. And yeah, here it is. Those are all the baby goats. I finally found it. Like a whole bunch of them together. All right, and we got that one. Shout out the chat. Appreciate y'all here. And throw in some ducks too. Yeah, lots of farm. And she intended me to show y'all this, and the hour has come where my channel is, doing what it's doing. So I am glad to be able to show you all these things. Okay. All right, so here we go. Here's some of other farm animals. Okay, this is a baby goat, and it's a different format where I have to go and make a different format so it could be shown on the screen. So I love it when it does this. Okay, and what's it called right here? Export and little goat. Okay, so put that there and show. We're gonna show these ducks right now. All right, those are some ducks. Oh, you try to send baby goat reels to Aaron and your daughter every day. Oh, well, I got some stuff for both of you because I have, although on this, I would have to upload it as a video to show y'all, but I have tons of baby goat videos and content like that. Yeah, and I fixed this thing, so we're going to display this on the screen. It's where are we at? Where's the little goat? Oh, there he is. Okay, because I had to clear out. I had so much stuff all over my desktop. It looked like a a mammoth. Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, this is the baby goat. There's so many. Peach has so many of them, and yeah, that one day Erin could get that on her farm. She'll have a whole farm of these things, and they are just so cute. And also, there's the Shetland ponies. So they're from like northern Scotland, and there's these ponies that are little. And there's a video that I have where this little pony goes and tries to trample over. It tries to boss around the little goats, and it's really funny to watch because it's a small little pony, and it runs and chases them around, and it thinks it's big, but it's not. Yeah, it's so yeah, definitely a cute little farm animals. And let's see, yeah, these are a whole bunch of them of hanging out together, right? And this is an army of goats. These are an army of baby goats right here. All right, so that is the baby goat militia right there. They're a whole gang. And it's really cute to see them, run around with each other. As I'm used to seeing goats that are much bigger, much bigger goats, but those are the ones that she has. And going over to this next slide right here is this one goat that likes to have an army of right here. Yeah, so this is a goat, and he has a taxi service, it seems, and he's able to uh, have the chicken right on him. Yeah, so that was really funny when I saw that. It's so you just have the chicken that just likes to just hang out right there while of getting a free ride. So that, which I don't believe it's a free ride. I believe that goat is making lots of money by transporting chickens around. Definitely. And the other one, oh, this is, yeah, that's great. Yeah, yeah. Glad that you like it too. Yeah. Yeah, y'all. Oh, so yeah, there was a day where we were googling frog and duck deek. Yeah, that one we were. That was a real crazy stream. That was wild. Yeah. And Moki, I have been on my Garden Lives. I have been searching for the frog, and we are waiting for him to jump out. So yeah, Yeah, we were looking at frog deek, duck deek. Yep, it's a corkscrew looking thing. Scared. Part of one of our scientific streams. Yeah, yeah. So this is a giant sunflower right here, and because Duke was saying, he was growing some, and this is one that I grew around 2020. That's the biggest one that I ever grew. My friends bought me the seeds, and that's what became of them. It looks like a giant beanstalk. And those are the other plant that I have is cousins with those sunflowers. Yeah, those are giant Russian sunflowers. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I've heard that they were the Mongolian mammoth ones. I don't know which breed it was, but I'm sure it was a part of that. Okay, and oh, I always talk about gumbo and different things like that. We have uh, so this is that one right there. This right here is one time I got it uh, right here. Just kind of to show you all what it looks like. It's like a soup with meats in it. It's very good, very delish. Oh, give it a name. All right, let's bring it back here. Wrong window. Oh, let's put it there. Okay, this sunflower will be called the big. It'll be. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm gonna name it after one of my favorite planets. Is we'll call it Big Serpo. That'll be the name of that sunflower. Okay, and yeah, definitely with sunflowers, their seeds are very good for oil and just for protein and stuff like that. There are bugs and weird insects that will try to eat them, but I don't let it uh, get to me in a way. I What I mean by that is I I am able to get rid of them. Yeah. Duke's idea is ginormous alien sunflower. I like it. It'll be GAS, ginormous alien sunflower. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And this is a cat that we had that is not around anymore. But yes, this was her name was Tootsie, and very beautiful cat she was. And although she's not around anymore, this has always been a very uh, extremely good shot, very good picture. Tories definitely have attitude. They have a tortitude, indeed. Yeah, and going over here, let's see. This is kind of. These are. Oh, you know what? The mouse went out for a second. That's nice. Oh, by the way, there's a time another one right here where okay, these are the flowers that are from Mexico that grow wild here, and yeah, this is the Mexican wildflowers. that grow. They're about to be sprouted. They're not to be blooming soon, but yeah, those and they just come here naturally. It's wildly, yeah, and yeah, the colors just really pop out. See, and oh, this is a like a this was not created with AI. This is like a painting thing I did. Uh, right here, this is kind of a fun fact. This was a drawing I did of a Greek ship going over the seas with sea monsters lurking around. Yeah, and some people think it's a Viking ship, but that could work too. It would be similar to a Viking ship. That is so it could either be a Viking ship or a other type of ship, the the Greek one, because there is the Odyssey and they're going over wine colored seas. So that was my depiction of that. So that was something that I did there. And going back this way, shout out to Spaceship Cats. Now we're going to maybe show some other plants that I grew. Kind of okay, put this down here. And it'll come up. There we go. This is a pump. This is a young pumpkin plant, and this young pumpkin plant is really cool. And I usually grow them out of pumpkins that from Halloween that die out. And as I said, getting a pumpkin netting is very good to cover the plant if some kind of bugs are going to try to get in it or something else. So there you go. That is the pumpkin plant right there. You know, and a pumpkin's a type of squash. Okay, and let's go this way right here. That is actually wrong turn. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I just do it like that. It'll work then. Okay, this one right here is the row of sunflowers before they start to bloom, which I think was really cool. When it was coming up, it was like, oh great, I'm glad they're coming up. I I like that. Okay, so yeah, those are some of the plants that I grew in some different farming pictures. Okay, and see about so just a recap is that yeah, sunflower seeds are very good for health and eating, in my opinion. Maybe some others may disagree with that, but yeah, and there are some plants that have roots in them that you can use to eat the roots, like potato type plants, and you know, good soil and researching different types of stuff to use is good. That is hilarious, Duke. Yeah, Duke has um the secret of solving those problems. Weird. Yeah, yeah. I think that definitely excellent to see the different types of pesticides. Some are more safer than others, though. Some might make you twitch a little bit, and there's natural ways and uh, wild ways of getting these types of things done. And yeah, the so yeah, those are some scenes from gardens that I grew in the past for everybody. And I think now I'll go over to the trial scene. Okay, let's go here, and here we go. Yeah, Duke says no more birds, rats, mice, or rabbits. Okay, and out of curiosity, let's show the other part of this. We have different root plants you will grow. Okay, let's see what the different root plants are. Let's see, pot plants. All right, so yeah, carrots. You know, that's one of them that's being grown by her, Erin. And there's beets. The vibrant bulbous roots. I've grown beets before. Have a distinct earthy sweetness and are packed with fiber, folates, and antioxidants called betalains. They can be roasted, boiled, or even granted raw into salads. Sweet potatoes, while often grouped with regular potatoes, sweet potatoes are actually tuberous roots with much higher content of vitamin A and creamer for mashing or baking or making into fries. Or Bigfoots, right? Or Bigfoots. Yeah, radishes too, and turnips, and let's see, let's see, unknown. Just an explanation about what Zone B is, because we've talked about it a little bit on the show. Is in Zone B typically refers to a warmer half of a specific SUSDA hardiness zone 7B, 8B, 9B. Because the exact number is missing from see the let's see zone focusing on the different outputs, usually from warmer half of the specific year. And there's another part where it's very cold, like where she is. It's extremely cold. Where Erin is a lot of the year, but not all of the year. But where I am, it's much more warmer in that time. The average room temperatures range from -5 Fahrenheit, in our way of viewing it, or 0 Fahrenheit. And the different types of plants, there's different plants that are like unknown that I've never heard of before that can be grown there. Is oca, the Zealand yam. This gem produces a small, colorful tubers with tangy lemony flavor. They are day length sensitive and grow best in long frost-free autumns, typical for zone 8B and 9B, although Aaron's in 6B. Southie, the oyster plant, often vegetable oyster. This root has a seafood-like flavor when cooked. It's hardly banal that performs exceptionally well in stable temperatures. Chinese artichoke, the yacon, and scarlet. The black salsify, often the black oyster plant, those work, and the celeriac, the celery root, well, not entirely unknown. It's frequently overlooked, and it's grown for its large, knobby, bulbous roots rather than its stalks and its potential celery-like flavor. And the sunchokes, I grow sunchokes. These are tuberous sunflowers that produce crunchy, nutty roots, and they are incredibly vigorous, almost to the point of being invasive, and are fully perennial and zone 6B, and they eaten raw like water chestnuts or roasted like potatoes. Yeah, so these types of plants are very good. Chinese artichoke. These small white spiral shaped tubers look like seashells and they have crisp texture and a nutty, delicate flavor. They are very hardy. Zone 4 and 8 prefer damp locations with loose, sandy loam to grow their unique shapes. All right, so those are some unknown plants that would grow in 6B, by the way. And pumpkins grow very well in zone 6B. The timing is critical. Now remember, because when there's snow around, they can't really do too much. So whenever the snow is gone, that pumpkin's ready for October harvest should typically plant between late May and July. Halloween aim for late June, early July. Planting too early, like April or May, can cause pumpkins to rot, become mushy before Halloween. I did not know that. Do not sow seeds until the soil has warmed to at least 65 Fahrenheit to 70 Fahrenheit in zone 6B. It usually occurs around Memorial Day. Rule of 100. Most varieties take 90 to 120 days to mature. Always check the seed packets, count backwards. Typically late October, early November for 6B. And you could take a pumpkin and grow it. I mean, not grow it, but you could eat it in that way. You could have like a pumpkin there and cut it open and cook it up and have it in that way, which is quite creative. And even with sunflowers, people could eat the whole sunflower head, like a pizza, for those that were ambitious about it. Yeah, let's see how to protect them from pests. Let's see here. All right, protecting the pumpkins in Zone 6B requires a mix of physical barriers, active monitoring, and strategic planting, as pests like squash bugs and cucumber beetles can quickly overwhelm a patch if left unchecked. Floating row covers. Cover the seeds with a light insect netting row cover immediately after planting. Important, you must remove these once the plants begin to flower. Allow bees to pollinate and blossom. Broad trap. Place small wood boards or pieces of heavy cardboard on the ground near the pumpkin vines. Squash bugs congregate under these at night. Every morning, flip the boards over. Drown the bugs in a bucket of soapy water. Garden sanitation. Remove all garden debris and old vines at the end of the season. Pests often overwinter these materials, leading to larger infestations the following year. So yeah, those are some ways to deal with them. They're marigolds and catnip, and are good for repelling them as well. And blue herbard squash is full few weeks before pumpkins, and these pests often prefer hardboard squash and will flock to it first, allowing you to remove the specific sacrificial plants to protect the main crop. That's interesting. Okay, so that's some interesting facts about how to protect pumpkins from common pests. All right, now I'm going to continue the reaction to this parkland defense opening that that we weren't able to complete last time. All right, there we go.
I stand before you today in a space filled with overwhelming sadness, painstaking grief, anger, and trauma. We have all seen and heard things that no one should have to see or hear. Things that will haunt us forever. And every one of you sitting here and in this courtroom knows that there is one person responsible for all of that pain and all of that suffering. And that person is Nicholas Cruz. And on October 21st, 2021, Nicholas Cruz pled guilty to all of the charges. And when he did that, he guaranteed that he would be punished. The question that now remains with each and every one of you is how he will be punished. Each of you will make an individualized moral decision about whether or not Nicholas Cruz should live or die. This is an individual decision. It is not a collective decision. Each of you has to make that decision only after you have heard all of the evidence, only after you have taken into consideration everything. Knowing that the law never requires you to vote for death. Not in this case, not in any case, and not in the worst case imaginable. And it's arguable that this is the worst case imaginable. During jury selection, every member of the defense team got up here and told you the things that we thought that you might see or hear. Why did we do that? First of all, we wanted to be honest with you. And second, we needed to make sure that after you heard all of that stuff, all that aggravation that the state of Florida presented to you, reasons for death, that you would want to know more, that you would need to know more. More about who Nicholas Cruz is. What shaped him? Who shaped him? Who wasn't around to shape him? And each of you said that you wanted to know every single detail. You said that it would be absolutely necessary for you to have all of the information before you made a decision about whether or not another human being should live or die. It's the oath that you took. It is the promise that you made. And everyone in this courtroom knows how difficult your job is. But we also know that you will honor your promise and you will keep your oath. People are not crimes. People commit crimes. But we must understand the person behind the crime. What is the root cause? Some people say that the crime itself is enough to impose sentence. You are not those people. Those people that said the sentence can be imposed based solely on the crime were excused. Each and every one of you is here because each one of you said that life without the possibility of parole could be an appropriate penalty for somebody who viciously murdered 17 people. Each of you said that life without the possibility of parole could be a severe enough punishment for those crimes. If each of you only had to make a decision about whether or not Nicholas Cruz lives or dies based on the crime, your job would be very easy. But you see, that's not how the law works. The state of Florida described to you what Nicholas did. The defense will tell you who he is. That's our job. And for the last 4.5 years, we have painstakingly dug into every part of Nicholas's life. Where he came from, who was around him, who raised him, who carried him in utero, who influenced his life, who shaped him, and what contributed to that horrible decision that he made on February 14th, 2018. In telling you Nick's story, in telling you the chapters of his life, we will give you reasons for life. And that is called mitigation. Mitigation is any reason that you believe that the death penalty is not an appropriate penalty in this case. And each of you, individually, gets to decide what is mitigation to you. It is not limited to the facts of the case. It is not limited to Nicholas's background, his character, his life. It can be anything that you see or you hear in this courtroom. And it can be anything that you feel in your heart is mitigation. Please understand that mitigation is not a defense. It is not an explanation. It is not a justification, because there is no defense to these crimes. And I cannot impose that upon you enough. We would never get up here and do that. When I met Nicholas Cruz on February 15th, 2018, I knew that he was a damaged person.
Objection.
Sustained. But I also know that wounded and damaged people wound and damage other people because they're in pain. But we don't excuse the horrific.
Yeah, definitely a freak. And if there is a juror that didn't believe in the DP or death penalty, as you know, the DP is an abbreviation for it, and the person thought he was mentally ill, right? And the only thing I can picture is that the members of jury had moral complex deciding whether someone lives or dies. Yeah, Brig, that's exactly the reason one of the jurors were holding out on that. And she believed he was mentally ill. Mermaid said they needed Afro Man's jury. Scared. Yeah. Yeah, this dude, and he idolized the Columbine shooters. Right. Let's see. Okay, so Nicholas Cruz deeply researched and was influenced by the Columbine 1999 high school massacre. Extensive research. Cruz told prosecution psychiatrists that he began contemplating a mass murder at middle school since he spent years studying the tactics used by Columbine and Virginia Tech shooters to learn their methods and mistakes. Tactical study. He specifically analyzed how Columbine shooters used weapons and studied the police response times to maximize the number of people he could shoot before being stopped. No one should do a shooting of any kind, but the Columbine shooting was supposed to be a bombing, and it failed. The reason why it failed is because there is a mechanism in the timer that was made of plastic that has a safety thing in it that stopped the fuse from going off that they overlooked, which of course that's a good thing. Another thing that happened was they may have got AM and PM mixed up. That happened with another bomb they had. And they were supposed to shoot people as they were running out the school, very sick people. But yeah, so just for the record of I don't know why people do stuff like this, because although I know why, they just feel hopeless and there's nothing else in life for them in the future. So yeah, it's very wicked, and they'll idolize each other. They'll like look up to each other. And investigators found that months and even days leading up to the attack, his internet search included. Briggs says it could cost over $1 million to keep on a life sentence in prison. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it was, yeah, all that is taxpayer money, definitely. Desire for notoriety, like the Columbine shooters, Cruz expressed desire for fame through his crime, stating, "A self-recorded video. When you see me on the news, you'll know who I am." Okay. Yes, lots of domestic terrorism. Yes. Evidence. I see. His younger brother, Zachary Cruz, admitted the investigators that he and his friends frequently bullied the shooter when they were younger. Zachary later expressed deep regret, stating he felt his treatment of the brother might have been a factor in the tragedy. Some classmates and neighbors reported that he was teased and mocked in school for being a loner, and his bizarre social media posts. Self reported ostracization. And videos recorded before the attack. The shooter claimed he had been bullied and ostracized for much of his life. Without to say the same thing. Thanks for making us pay for this twerp who looks like he lives with and would do it again. Yeah, he has a crazy looking glare in his face, and he's kind of like one of those tree rats, right? He's kind of like one of those tree rats that we see in the live streams. Yeah. Now there's evidence of him bullying others though, just like with the Columbine shooters. There, many students and teachers describe him as the one who did the bullying and harassing. He was known to threat classmates, telling peers he wanted to shoot black people and bring lunchbox full of bullets to show others. Social isolations. You know what, Brig? You are correct. That is an insult to tree rats. Indeed. I would say what this thing is, uh, with the school shooter, he is even worse than that. He is completely a mutated demonic phenomena that came into existence that is certainly a cancerous type entity on this earth. So yes, my definitely shout out to the tree rats. They're not even as dark and evil as these people like him. And students like, hey, hello DJ, we're talking about a trial right here. Social isolations. Students like Emma Gonzalez stated that he wasn't bullied in a traditional sense, but rather ostracized because he was seen as dangerous and frequently threatened by others. Oh yes, glad that you saw it too, buddy. Yeah, it's very cool. Disciplinary history. His school records were, yes, tree rats. Yeah, basically it's squirrels with no fur. Yeah, yeah. Disciplinary history. His school records were filled with disciplinary incidents, including being disruptive, unruly, and cursing at staff. So he had a history of being crazy to other people. Yeah. Ultimately, while there is documented evidence of him being mistreated at home, teased at school, many of his peers reviewed him more as a source of fear and himself than being a victim. So he definitely was a bully himself. And Moki gives a shout out to DJ Brig and Mermaid. Awesome. Shout out to our peeps. All right, let's see what the mental health evaluations are. And then we're about to go back to reaction. Hey, that is hilarious. The DJ says I was up late night because my date was snoring so loud and she kept me up. Wow. Wow. That is funny. We're glad that we were on for you to chill with. All right, during his sentencing at trial, the mental health evaluations, Nicholas became a central battleground between defense and prosecution. Oh, you've had that in your head all day, Murray. Yeah, I looked at some of the stuff that he puts out. As I said, I never heard of that dude before the trial. So yeah, the I guess the lemon pound cakes are going to be the marketing campaign for lemon pound cakes are through the roof right now. Yeah, and defense argue that Cruz was doomed from the womb. Yeah, catchy. It's like a music worm in your head. I think that's what it's called. It's like a tune that just kind of goes over and over. Yeah. Fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Expert Dr. Kenneth Jones testified that Cruz suffered from alcohol related neurodevelopmental disorder, noting that he never seen a more documented case of prenatal alcohol exposure in his 50 years career. Neuropsychologist Paul Corner testified that Cruz had an IQ of 83 and showed significant impairments at 11 brain domains, including memory, exclusive functioning, and processing speed. Okay, so let's see. It's a real place. He showed it either today or whenever it was. It was called Mama's, and she had lemon pound cake special. So, oh, okay, and hilarious. And DJ said it helped my anxiety a lot, to be honest. Thank God for haunted late night streams. Yeah, those I love the garden at night. And last night we nearly got 500 views. That was awesome. And man, last night was so cool. Uh, I said, just talking about the things that Moki sends me about the extraterrestrials and the different things in the Middle East, the wars they have over there, and for the different reasons. That was so cool last night. And uh, there's Abby 2, the second Abby on the spaceship, uh, brought Andrew, shout to both of them, and that was really cool to have on board. We talked about all kinds of different things, and food and the conspiracy theories. But yeah, the haunted garden and the scenery. That's why I love going outside at night. And people, it's like shout out to Mary Toodles, and I like one of the reasons why I wanted to like I chose to stay and want to be here with my family. Besides, helping them, was also the really cool place here. See, DJ, you understand why I like it here. And it's a very big yard. And back in the old days, this place was maybe over 100 years old, or maybe from the 40s or 30s, or maybe around that time, or 50s. Definitely the 40s, at least. They had yards that were much bigger in this region. Now all the yards are small, but yes, I'm glad that everybody is getting enjoyment from the streams. They're doing very well. The the phone lives in the garden at night, which I will do other ones a little bit earlier too, so people that are not always around for them could see it. Just mirrors the late night lives that we did in the show originally, back in the day with the originals, where I would just go late night live at like 11:15 and like Thursday and Friday. That's what I used to do them. But with the trial chat group, we did every single day, and here we are. And I appreciate every single group that came here and made it to Spaceship how it is today. And we had a good time with the Garden Lives. Said it mirrors the phone lives. Yes, Moki, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm spreading the word, Moki, and where people love those streams. And it's getting more people to the channel of the new faces and other people that already subscribe to me that like to talk on them too. So definitely, and I love that we're making have new subs and new friends on board the spaceship, and uh, it's been just an amazing thing. And I overcoming different hurdles that came my way and just keep on being persistent and persevering, and the dots connecting, that's what it was for me. So yeah, I with the alien charm, I was able to in my garden charm bringing the people in. Oh, glad that you liked them, Brig, and it was nice seeing Sunny there too. It's a good vibe. Yeah, and yeah, yesterday we were talking about the crazy Nordic metal bands, and with chat. Shout out to Duke, shout out to Duke, and because I know a lot about those, and it has to do with those conspiracy theories as well. Because some of those people were pretty into some dark stuff, and then we got into the horror movies and the different cases. And Moki, I'm getting other people interested in the cases and stuff like what we look at, and that's really great. So I'm glad for the phone lives and the shorts and these streams. Another thing, as I said, the live streams are going to be ad free, completely ad free, because I don't want to ruin the flow of information. Yeah, because in the settings on the channel, made sure that there's nothing going through the live streams, because when I'm watching a trial or watching something, and I have one of my I have friends that are YouTubers that have like millions of subs, that they have streams that are very good that have ads in them. I know people make money from it, and I'm not trying to and money's good to make. I'm not being against that. I just personally focus on a product and how it conveys to people, and I just don't like an ad when I'm doing something. Not everybody gets YouTube Premium, so yes, ads on the live streams will be completely ad free. The other like things will have ads in them, but this live streams will be ad free. But I don't really need the ads in general. Technically, the super chats are good enough for me, and the memberships, because I want to focus on the user experience in the product. Right. And I hope it gets bigger and bigger for you. You definitely deserve it. Well, thank you, Brig. And over time, it'll continue to grow and get bigger. And I do appreciate all of you, and also shout out to Moki too for bringing very cool people here and contributing to the stream, and to you too, Brig and Sunny, everybody. So I believe it's a team effort that gets the job done. So yeah, over time, I'm very confident it'll continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had to get a new phone so I could do the phone lives authentically, because the other phone had some problems, but now we're able to do phone lives. And this other phone has a battery that lasts longer than the other one. And chat has been doing good when there's trolls. Chat as well, keeping the trolls in check, because there's Temu trolls that don't have anything better to do. So yeah, I'm glad. So I'm thankful for the feedback about positive vibes of the garden. I appreciate feedback very much. I think it's important. So I'm glad that y'all like the garden lives, and late tonight, we'll be doing some more of them for everybody. Yeah, Moki said phone lives are popular, but sure do draw trolls. Yes, yes. So now the garden lives seem to have, so far, knock on wood, they have less trolls than those, if no trolls at all. But I would say the garden lives are the most chill ones, and like there's people that just have philosophical conversations, and the other phone lives, the more earlier ones that we'll see, yeah, there's a lot of trolls in those. And Moki, thank you, Moki. Thank you, Moki. I appreciate that compliment. Yeah, I definitely have thick skin. You gotta be. My iron frame is, in resilience to it, as I've been on this for a long time, for not for decades, but for a couple years now. I've been on it for a long time, and I've been on many chat rooms all over YouTube, and yeah, I've been through it, and that's what you gotta be. You gotta have an iron frame when dealing with Temu Sheen trolls like that. And even like my friends and I will go and like roast each other, and I tell them that it's good practice for me, because I did it from a long time ago, and it really was like good to do, and like we'll playfully do it with each other, but we don't take it personally, and we just kind of go back and forth on each other, or make up a character, or do that. So it's just something I do on a regular basis, and I was known for rapping too, so it's kind of funny to go and just do it like that. But yeah, Moki, there's one time with the phone lives, it was say around this time, or a little bit later than this, around 10 or 11 p.m. Central. You would adjust it to your time zone. That is where there'd be like a bunch of them. Yeah, Smokey, exactly. I don't let anyone dim my light. The reason, you see, the trolls and the people that have hatred, they wish they were me. They would love to be me for a moment, and any of us on the spaceship, but they're not. It's like they have nothing better to do, and they have hatred towards me. It's like nothing they do will ruin my extravagant alien life that I have. Yeah. So The worst thing I think is to have no haters at all, because you're making a difference when you have the haters and the trolls doing things like that, and they try to attack something. Hate doesn't come from the top, is what I'm trying to say. And on the phone lives, they're used to, though, a year or two ago, there'll be all of them spamming the chat and being, we got some cool people on the spaceship from there, but there's also trolls that were saying all kinds of crazy things and the looks and the everything about me. And it was, sometimes it would get really out of hand. It would get wild. And I just go off and roast them. And then Mary Toodles deals with them trolls and the other mods too. And I have a mod army for various reasons, and that's good, when they come through, because I've been on all kinds of channels, and they could just go like a machine gun, and it's good to have a chat room that is cool and legit. And yeah, because I would go on the phone lives and I would talk about news and trials and whatever was going on, and then show the garden. What I'm doing, I'll still do those. But what if there's an outage or something? I do phone lives, and I'm doing these garden expeditions now. Yeah, Mermaid, exactly. And shout out to the tree rats and the different cats and stuff that we have in the garden. Yeah. Oh, so one night, I was doing the live about the blood moon. I don't know who told me about it, or I think I found out like a drop of a dime, and I had to go do it right then and there. But I knew a couple hours ahead, I think. So you go, Alien. What do you mean exactly by this type of live stream you're referring to if it wasn't a garden live? Explaining that is that I was over with hanging out with Brig and Sunny and them, and I was okay. Pool says, guys, there's people who somewhat debating me if Jay Z is complicit, and I'm dying like, how can people troll be so dumb? Okay, Moki, understood. And I appreciate you, Moki, sending me the links and hanging out with us. And I'm very glad to have you here. Yeah, Mermaid, they're just extremely stupid. Yeah, exactly. The trolls are extremely stupid. So there was the blood moon was in the backyard, and I was going to. Scared. So I was going to do the phone live about the moon, but what happened was a peculiar thing occurred. I an out My phone thing wasn't working, and I had to go refill the. I had to go, refill the Timu uh phone thing, and I was able to do that and got it ready for the stream. So then the blood moon was happening, and my hand was shaking like I was, uh, you know, one of those characters from one of the trials we were watching. Oh no, you know what? I was shaking like Bill Clinton. That's what I was shaking like. And a Kathy Smith was there, and I haven't seen her in a while. And she was glad to see the stream, and we were showing different people the blood moon. That was pretty cool. So the blood moon stream was nice. Oh, really, Mermaid? I'm not surprised. It's you know, I think people are like using these political things for stupid stuff, and the color thing doesn't matter. Like Jay Z is what he is, and he was affiliated with who he's affiliated with, and he's just part of the elites. And I see a Duke. Duke is all ears right now. Scared, scared. Yeah. So Duke, Jay Z is he's been plotting. That's what he's been doing. He's been plotting. He is not innocent, in my opinion. Yeah, I see. A Duke is mind blown. He can't even. He's like, no way. I can imagine a dude's if I'm saying that Jay Z is not innocent. He's like, no way. I never would have noticed. Mermaid, that is wild that that happened. Whoa. I'm glad that you took. I'm glad that you dealt with that situation. Wow. Uh, because we need to have good influences. Jay Z is an absolute abuser. Beyonce, L, J Lo are in on it too. Yeah, very good point. I agree. Yeah, I put Duke in the spotlight. It's like there's a spotlight on Duke, and he's a little bit feels goosed, and but then he's like, ah, it's funny. Yeah, J Lo and Diddy were together for years. Yep, that's true. Yeah, and all of chat chilling with me, and I appreciate and the streams we've been doing and the new things we've been expanding on. It's looking good in the broken mirror, so to speak. It's a saying, and 'cause I like the whole story was really cool, the spaceship story, and I'm looking forward for tonight with our late night garden live. It's very cool. Shout out to Mary Toodles. She's a little frustrated that I didn't give her a shout out, and um, because of her, the spaceship's able to be going through the galaxies. Without her, it wouldn't be. Thank you for the other link, Mookie. Diddy, J Lo were mini Gil and Epstein. Yep, excellent. Well said, Mermaid. That's exactly what they were. Yeah, and shout out to Zook. He's enjoying being in the spotlight. Shout out to Zook. Yeah, and DJ Lo were mini Jill and Epstein. Yeah. See, it's the same type of thing. These elites always do these same type of things over and over again, and you have like a they basically were emulating Epstein and doing the same things that they were doing. Absolutely, it's all interconnected and linked. And there's like some songs Jay Z can play backwards that is makes people scared. Right? And Marie, I'm glad that you're putting those Timu Sheen trolls that think that he was innocent in check. Glad for that. I it's something that needs to be enforced. There's an absolute flood of UFO stuff now, or it's my algorithm. Oh yeah, it's yeah. Either something's going on, or the algorithm of Moki has been alienized. The alienization. Scared. Remember, it said, I began to realize there's only a small amount of us who are normal, who don't believe in cannibalism. Essay, only some of us, rest of us are complicit. UFO stuff for me has been going wild my whole life and recently a lot. Yeah. There is definitely more of it being exposed, and I'm so excited for the government website that has been enacted, that they put out there. And Mary Toodles. The U.S. government has created a alien government website. They're going to put alien stuff on about secret files being released about aliens. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein awoken weird reptilian research. That is true. Oh, when the Epstein thing happened, it caused a domino effect. After the Epstein files released, now they're talking about releasing alien stuff and all the other things of the conspiracy theories have been talked about for years. People thought were crazy are now seen as normal. It's a really a conspiracy theory is more like not all. Some of them are false, some of them are not true, some of them are made up. But besides those exceptions, they're usually a preview to what's about to happen. It's always like a preview. All right, and definitely, do see. Movie said, Duke, my family is coming tomorrow, so I called my mom and we're ordering greasy pizza tomorrow. Oh, uh, that is definitely facts. Duke certainly would be entertained to hear that. Facts. Greasy pizza with an emphasis. Scared. And Mermaid said, I believe there is a species of people. I'm not sure how it intertwined, but yeah, I was always told demons shapeshift. Okay, there's a species of. I think all or most humans are a little bit related to those things by various percentages, but there's some relate more than others, and there's people that are involved in witchcraft and sorcery, like the skinwalkers, that are able to shapeshift completely. They're given this ability, like a jailbreaking themselves, like jailbreak a phone to do weird things on it. You can't usually do with a regular phone. They do that, and I'm sure there's actual lizard people in human form too. Like they're not really actually humans as well. A combination of those things. So they're this they're descendants of the fallen watchers of angel things that have dominion over the earth. Thank you, Mookie. And the bloodlines of men. They corrupted the bloodlines of men. So yeah, that is what they are. They're from demonic bloodlines, and they do shape shifting, and they intertwine with humans. Some of the watchers were known as reptilian type beings. Also, we're supposed to be all that's left in the days of Noah, so it's very odd. Okay, mermaid, and I'm not saying I don't believe or I don't buy it, but I've known for years, but I don't know. It came about must have been witchcraft and curses of course. Moki says I've been seeing posts of Congress saying people who have come out of skiffs about the topic have been like, holy shit. Oh wow, wow, yep, yeah, it's very surprising thing indeed, and I believe in serious curses in the world of witchcraft, right? And let's see, give you an explanation here. Wow, she brought the Book of Enoch up. Oh, that is great. I'm glad that that's being brought up. Amen. Amen. And in other other religions and stuff, they talk about giants. There's people in Saudi Arabia, ancient civilizations that were giants after the flood. So these narratives were after Noah's descendants. Some of them were giants in different places, and they built great things, and they got destroyed because they were worship themselves and idols. And I believe Lab. So I'm glad that Rep Luna is talking about it. If Lab combines human and animal, could it be used demonically? I'm sure. Yeah, a entity can possess it. That is true, Mermaid. It could be used as a vessel. Now, Alex. Yes, there's an interdimensional thing too. So, Mermaid, there's something called the interdimensional theory of things coming through different dimensions. And I'll give you an explanation why there are still giants after the Great Flood in various cultures. So they're giants, right? After the Great Flood. However they're there or not there, they're there. So, and there's also different creatures of the earth that existed too. Not to mention time. Right. You are correct, Mermaid, they do. Yes. And so there are very tall mountains, right? So there's a great flood that happened, and most of them were wiped out. But there may have been a few of them that crawled up into mountains that were very, very high, so a very small percentage of them survived. There is also the tallest man in the world. And that's how their genetic offspring were able to survive. Even in Grendel, from the Anglo-Saxon thing about Beowulf, that giant thing was probably a Nephilim, a type creature. But remember, if the Great Flood didn't happen, we would have been taken over all over the place. It would have been crazy. Maybe we would have been even wiped out. But I'd say like there's not many giants around, so I'd say they were pretty much eradicated. Even if a few of them may have survived, then there may have been other ways they could have survived. There could have been interdimensional. They could be appearing later for some kind of other way. So it may not be from that group from the flood. Maybe it came. Maybe they went back and created some more of them. So it may, maybe you're right, but somehow, some way, they're able to come back somehow. And so that's an explanation for you about that. And let's see, Waldo Giant. All right, this person is a giant right here. He was a very tall man, taller than one of the tallest humans to ever exist. Right here. So yeah, and this genetic thing about these giants right here, it somehow survived. Maybe some of them breathe underwater. There were some that were aquatic because they did mix with people of the earth and of the sea as well. As Sarah and I talked about, and like Griffiths and different types of mythological creatures were from them somehow. So yeah, it somehow survived. I don't know how, but maybe some of them were able to swim or breathe underwater. But allegedly, the story goes is that they somehow climbed up into very high mountains, like the Kandahar giant, and it's in a mountain. All these different giants are in secluded high places. But as I said, I understand, Mermaid. Thank you for your take. And maybe they were able to breathe underwater, or there's some other way we're overlooking. I'm overlooking. All that had to happen because I had to come up with how we ever came about. Oh yes, understood. So here are some scholarly explanations about the giants, about why they're still here. I had to accept the fact that we didn't know what incest was in the days of Noah because they created us. Oh, right. That is true. And all the people that were giants later were descendants of Noah. Yeah. There's a possibility. There's something I saw a long time ago that one of Noah's sons was actually a Nephilim, or he had some of it in his genetic background. Like everyone was related to it. He was related to them too, distantly, and that it survived through his line. So either Noah carried some of the Nephilim genetics, or one of the sons was actually a Nephilim disguised. That could be another explanation. Or interdimensional theories, too. Or maybe the aliens came back and created more of them. And I think they come down again. Probably, why wouldn't they? But now you're getting it right. It wasn't look at that way, I think. But yes, yes. Okay, the second incursion. Some scholars and theologians suggest that the second group of sons of God, the often interpreted as fallen angels, okay, made it with human women after the flood, creating a new generation Nephilim. That's what I just said, chat. Chat, this is so cool. I just said something that the scholars said without even looking at it. So the aliens, the extraterrestrials, the fallen watchers came after the flood happened. So that created the new wave of giants. So it's possible that all the giants are wiped out of the flood. But the new wave of aliens, angels that came down created the new Nephilims that we see now. Okay. Cain and Abel had weird murder, and yeah, it's so true. Oh, this is just from the what's scholarly theories about them. I don't have. There's websites that are references to I could look into, but yeah, that nothing specific. It was just from what different scholars on that are recorded saying about them. Yes, yes, archaeology too. Yes. Genetic inheritance. Popular theory is that one or more of Noah's daughters-in-law carried Nephilim genetics. While they were fully human, they may have had hybrid ancestors, allowing the genetic traits for great size to resurface in later generations like the Canaanites. Okay, so this other theory was similar to what I was saying a little bit, that one of the daughters-in-law had Nephilim genetics. Okay, they're the Jewish Midrashic legend, King Og. In some Jewish traditions, the Og king of Bashan is said to have survived the flood sitting on a piece of wood attached to the side of an ark where Noah fed him through the aperture. Interesting. Right, right. There's evidence that the oil that's in the different sediment layers in the Gulf in different places is from the Great Flood that happened. All right, everybody, I am back. I have returned. Okay, so here I am. And let's see, is it coming through? Is it coming through? Let's see. And for some reason, it is not connected. Let's put this out here. All right, nothing is showing. Interesting. Maybe it's on some other again. I don't know. Let's close this. Okay, here I am. Is it working? All right, so I don't know. Oh, you could see me. Okay, so it's okay. You can see me now. All right, because it's not showing anything on my end. So okay, glad to work. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to go and reopen the. Let's just go back to what you're saying, Mermaid, for a moment. Uh, okay, I have a good question. I never thought it flooded where all the bodies go to be eaten. Yeah, they basically would have turned into ash. I mean, not ash. They would have turned into decay, and a lot of the oil and stuff that we have now is the same. Is from that layer. Is Yeah, dust is another one. It certainly would turn into that. Yeah, so basically gas and oil. All right, so hypothetically, this is what would have happened to the Great Flood bodies. Marine life, like what you just said. Bodies and that remain in the water or sank to the seabed would be rapidly consumed by sea creatures like fish, sharks, crabs, and sea lice. Carrion feeders. Carcasses washed ashore would be eaten by land based scavengers, birds, and insects. Rapid skeletonization. In tropical warm waters, scavengers and purification can reduce body to skeleton as one or little. Blow buoyancy. After death, a bacteria activity produces gases that causes body to bloat and rise to the surface. Dispersal floating remains would be carried vast distances by powerful currents, potentially ending up in deep ocean basins where they would eventually decompose and sink. Mechanical destruction. Turbulent water file filled with debris, trees, rocks, and mud acts as grinder and often pulverizing soft tissue and even bone before it can be buried. All right. Skeletonization. Okay, there's cold, oxygen poor waters, body fat can be turned into waxy substances called abdicure, remain several weeks and even years. Bodies caught in massive mudslides, underwater landslides would be buried under layers of silt and sand, which could eventually harden into rock. So they would basically be fossilized. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so those who support the global flood model support the geological features as evidence of rapid. This is evidence for it in uh, our modern times. So this is evidence that the flood happened through geology. Uh, so widespread strata. Proponents note that some rock layers, such as the Tapetes sandstone or Redwall limestone, can be traced across entire continents and even between them, suggesting a massive simultaneous water event. Knife edge contacts. Some researchers argue that the flat boundaries between rock layers show no evidence of the millions of years of erosion that should have occurred if they were exposed to the elements for long periods. Marine fossils on mountains. The presence of marine fossils, like shells and fish high above sea level and on mountain peaks, is cited as evidence that ocean waters once covered land masses. So that is the explanation of the Great Flood theory. All right, back to the hypothetical about the flood. So back what I was saying before we got cut off is the carrion feeders, the carcasses. Wait, wrong one. Let's go. Wrong area. Let's go to this. Let's see, show the full thing. I could just do this. Yeah, that's it right there. All right, the second incursion. So we read about the sons of God, often interpreted as fallen angels, made it with human women after creating next generation of Nephilim. Genetic inheritance. A popular theory is that one of the more of Noah's daughters carried the Nephilim genetics while they were fully human. They may have had hybrid ancestors, allowing the genetic traits for great size to resurface in later generations, like the Canaanites. We talked about King Og, who is said to have survived the flood by sitting on a piece of wood attached to the side of the ark where Noah fed him through an aperture. Localized flood view. Some interpretations of the flood are regional, but there's people in different parts of the world, like in South America, that talked about a god that was flooding their earth, and they had to keep building giant pyramids to try to fight him. All right, so that is explanations about the flood. All right. Yeah, and that is the explanation about the flood of Noah and how if they didn't go into the mountains and survive that way. Oh, okay. Okay, mermaid. Mermaid. So you're doing a game tonight? Stream? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not too sure, but so yeah, that is the explanation about the Nephilims and how that worked. Oh, you're still here though. Okay. There's modern day flood disasters. Okay, so uh, that's explaining how Nephilim survived that flood, and let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good. Limb space. Okay. Okay, understood. Yeah, I look forward to seeing that. You do very well at those games. Last time you had Frog in that game, that was cool to see the frog in there. Yes, mermaid. It's from the Old Testament of the Bible. Okay. Mermaid said, "I'm glad that we're having this convo because the other day, Friday, I think they said it was National Frog Day, and I saw three frogs in a row creep me out. Oh, scared. Yeah, well, shout out. It was Frogs Day yesterday. That is awesome. So yeah, definitely are. That would be scary, mermaid. Scared. Well, you saw a frog on screen and a frog on a logo. Yeah, yeah. The frog was just basically taking over the whole game. Yeah. Maybe on another screen too, like my phone. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's an idea. Yeah, March 20 raised awareness about the global decline of amphibian populations and vital role that frogs play for healthy ecosystems. Yeah, I would feel the same way, mermaid. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be like W2H about what's going on. It's like, really? Like scared. Yeah, shout out to the reindeer. Yeah. Yep, Duke. Yeah, National Frog Day. Yep. World Frog Day. Oh, there's more. While the primary day for honoring these amphibians, there are few other related observances through the year. World Frog Day, March 20, an annual event created to a highlight threats like habitat loss, climate change, and disease. National Frog Month, a full month dedicated to appreciating how frogs benefit humans and environment. I want one of those frogs, like from one from Shrek, where he blows up the frog and the snake it's into a balloon. Yeah, a month. Yeah, National Frog Month is in April, a full month dedicated to appreciating how frogs benefit humans and the environment. Save the Frog Day, April 28th. Coordinated by the organization Save the Frogs, this is the world's largest day of amphibian education and conservation action. National Frog Jumping Day, May 13th, a more lighthearted holiday inspired by Mark Twain's short story about Pet Frog. April Fools! April Fools! Doi! That's a April Fools will be interesting. Like SpongeBob. April Fools. And yeah, let's see. Summarize. Oh, you hated that episode, and you loved it too. Yeah, everybody should have kicked Squidward's Eos. Kicked his ass up and down the street in the Bikini Bottom. I get scared. SpongeBob SquarePants episode Fools in April follows SpongeBob on his favorite holiday, April Fool's Day. He spends the morning pulling harmless, silly pranks on Gary and then moves the Krusty Krab, where he continues to fool customers. Yeah, he was scared. Customers with minor tricks, such as putting only one ice cube in a drink when asked for a couple. While the customers find his antics amusing, Squidward is quickly driven by his breaking point by SpongeBob's constant laughter and dull jokes. Squidward went way too far. Yeah, that dude Squidward has a mean streak in him, and I think Squidward was going. He let his bad side get the best of him. Although he's just usually like a miserable person, he's that's basically what occurred to him. Yeah. and SpongeBob's side through a dump truck. Mr. Krabs took with the hooks. Oh, that one. Yeah, that one is a good parable about like not getting hooked on drugs. It was basically a dare episode. It was trying to be like a dare episode, and he didn't want people to get hooked. And yeah, Mr. Krabs was worrying about the hooks. And to get revenge, Squidward decides to show SpongeBob real prank. He sets up a complex, dangerous trap involving a rope, snare, and glob of mustard. When SpongeBob steps into it, he violently launched around the restaurant, crashing into various objects before landing headfirst in a trash can while Squidward laughs hysterically in the success of his trick. The rest of the customers are distinguished by his cruelty and devastating. SpongeBob runs home in tears. The rest of the episode focuses on Squidward struggle to clear his conscience, and he finds physical impossible to say the word sorry and makes several failed indirect attempts to apologize. Finally, he shouts genuine apology through the SpongeBob front door, even admitting that he actually likes him. Yeah, only Squidward, right, right. And that's the thing is with Squidward is he he's really self-absorbed, and he doesn't like contribute to like the problem with Squidward is that he never contributed to other people. He just wanted the fame and stuff for himself, but not really to make a difference for other people. And that's the reason why he never really amounted to anything uh, in his life. And but he was entertaining in the SpongeBob show, but he he wanted to do all these things, but he didn't want to do like the effort that it takes to get it right. Because if he fails with his Timu Sheen clarinet, all he has to do is keep practicing, but he doesn't keep practicing. He just uh, breaks glass and takes orders and stuff from the Krusty Krab. A lot of people would actually think it's cool to try his job, to be like the Bikini Bottom and the Krusty Krab with SpongeBob, but he people want what they can't have sometimes, and he wanted what he couldn't have with Sponge. Definitely, yeah. Squidward does get his a few times. That's true. Oh, let's talk about my favorite episode, the Graveyard Shift. Sword gets his a few times. Yeah. So, Mermaid, what do you think of the Graveyard Shift? That's one of my favorite episodes, by the way. Still to this day. In the episode Graveyard Shift, Mr. Krabs decides to keep Krusty Krab open 24 hours a day and increase his profits. His forces reluctant Squidward and an overly enthusiastic Sponge work the restaurant first ever night shift to pass time and entertain himself. Squidward tells SpongeBob a terrifying ghost story of the hash slinging slasher, a former fry cook who supposedly haunts the restaurant. Squidward explains that the slasher's arrival is preceded by three specific warnings: the lights, the flickering on and off, and the phone ringing with no one on the line, and ghostly bus dropping him off. While the story initially terrifies SpongeBob, Squidward eventually admits he made it all up to stop SpongeBob's constant screaming. However, as night progresses toward 3 a.m., the exact events from the fictional story begin to occur in real life, leaving both of them paralyzed with fear. The tension peaks when a mysterious silhouette matching the slasher's description steps off a bus and approaches the counter just as they prepare for the worst. The figure reveals to be a young fish who simply wants to apply for the job and had been too nervous to speak on the phone. With the mystery seemingly solved, Squidward wonders who was flickering the lights, leading to the famous reveal of Nosferatu Count Orlok playfully toggling the light switch. Oh, you scared you silly as a kid? Yeah, I like the animation. The Night Garden kind of reminds me of that, the way it looks. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. The scared silly. Yeah, the graphics were good, and I like how the way it was appearing in there. All right. The tension peaks when mysterious silhouette matches a slasher's description, steps off a bus, approaches the counter. Just as they prepare for the worst, the figures is revealed by a young fish who simply wants to apply for a job and had been nervous speak on the phone. With the mystery seemingly solved, the Squidward wonders who is flickering the lights, leading to the famous reveal of Count Orlok Nosferatu. That's the way I knew about that Nosferatu thing was from there. I thought that was the most if like a creepy, fascinating thing right there. I was like, what on earth? Whoa! I was like, that was wild. Yeah. Okay, and let's see. Uh, let's see what Scaredy Pants is. Yes, I learned about him through SpongeBob. That's how I learned about Orlok, the Nosferatu vampire that I talk about. I would have found out about it later at some point because I'm into horror movies from the old days. But especially, they came out with a new one like 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that. And I would have found out about it eventually, but it was from that one. When I was little, it's just these characters and things you just don't know. Like the mystery about what you're looking at is so fascinating to me. Like I had no idea what that thing was exactly. The Orlok thing. I thought it was freaky looking. I didn't even know. I know like who or what it was. Yeah, and okay, so Nosferatu Orlok is a yeah. That thing is basically a is based off of Dracula. It's based off of Count Dracula, and he was. They're trying to avoid copyright, but they still got copyright anyway. And it was about Count Dracula, from in their depiction of Count Dracula at the time. And he was this, from Eastern Europe. It's from Orlok's castle, and they had this different type of atmospheric, artistic silent films in those days. So they made him look a kind of like a grotesque, like alien looking thing that was scary. Different than the dashing version of Dracula. They made a different type of Dracula there. So in later versions of the movie, they called it Dracula, but that Orlok was this other thing. It's the same thing with a different name, and it's a silent film, and it's completely Orlok, the Nosferatu movie is completely free. Like, to I suppose there's no streaming, there's no copyright with it because it's public domain. And guess what? All of the copies are supposed to be destroyed, but some of them survived because they're destroyed the copies because it was supposed to be a a copyright issue to take them out. But no, some of the copies survived, and it was from Germany. And around the 20s, I think some people thought it was a political thing, but it was basically based off of Dracula's encounter. Now there is one from the 70 and from 79 that came out, and it has people talking in it, and it's in color. And he just is kind of like in a dark room talking about it. And so I'll explain to you what the story is about, Mermaid. So this dude and his wife are in Germany, and this other guy he works for with his real estate thing wants him to go to Transylvania to sell a client a property. And people, like the local people in Transylvania, were telling the dude to not go over there because there's some shady stuff going on. You almost got a strike. Lord, I don't know. If there's some sort of sound effects that happened in there, maybe that's what it was. Maybe there's I mean, okay, you just told me there's nothing in there, so I understand that. But I wonder if there's some sound effect, or I don't think people would own the video rights. That wouldn't really make any sense to me. But if there was something like that, I would think that uh, someone could have claimed it, but I don't know who would have claimed it. Doesn't make any sense. Or there is some music in there, something could have played without you realizing it. So I don't really know what could have caused that to happen. Maybe it was an image. Okay, maybe some. I've gotten a copyright over an image before one time. Yes, yes. And YouTube has an AI bot in it that detects these kind of things. Let's see. For images, okay, I'll look this up right now. Algorithm. Let's see, detect. YouTube automatic content ID algorithm primarily focuses on audio and video clips, but generally less effective to automate detective individual static images. So the YouTube's automated content ID algorithm detects audio and video clips only. While the system is designed to compare uploads against massive database of reference files, most automated claims are triggered by music or video segments rather than still photographs. Copyright owners manually search for their images and file takedown requests if they find it on your videos. This can result in copyright strike, which is more serious than automated claim. Yeah, copyright match tool. The tool creates creators to find video that are the same, very similar to their own. While often used for full video re-uploads, it uses the same matching technology as Content ID to help rights holders find unauthorized use of their visual content. YouTube's algorithm is constantly evolving. Some advanced systems can now identify visual fingerprints that may include specific frames of iconic imagery. Exactly, Duke. Right. Yeah, March has been very busy. Yeah. Let's see. Mermaid, can you tell me what game you were playing so I could maybe exactly see what the problem was? Thank you. Okay, let's see. In a game, limb space space and copyright claim happens. No sound. Playing while uploading. Receiving a copyright claim on limb space or hard game upload, even with the music muted, is a common and usually happens because the YouTube Content ID system detects visual assets or specific sound effects. There you go. So Mermaid, you're right. Visual assets are specific sound effects. Visual fingerprinting. Content ID can scan for specific game frames, cutscenes, or unique textures registered by the publisher. Licensed sound effects. Many indie horror games use ambient sounds or loops, jump scares, noises purchased from stock libraries. If the library owner has registered those sounds with Content ID, your video will automatically be flagged. Lack of commentary. Video has no voiceover. YouTube automated systems often detect copy of the original work rather than transformative. Go to YouTube dashboard and click content and find the video and hover over copyright restrictions column. Click to see details. This will show that the exact timestamp being claimed, who claims are. If the claim is for a specific sound, YouTube offers tools to mute that segment to replace it, or royalty-free music like YouTube Audio. Dispute it if applicable. If you believe the claim is an error, the claimant doesn't actually own the game. You can dispute the claim. Most claims automated matches that release the owner realizes is just gameplay. So you could always dispute it, possibly. Add commentary. In the future, adding your own voice makes the video more likely to be considered a fair use. Less likely to be flagged by pure duplication. So you actually talking in your games would help stop a copyright issue from happening. Whoa. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps you. All right. And any other questions, Mermaid? Just curious. All right. Okay, Mermaid. I have a question here for you. Actually, is the copyright claim that you got, was it for a visual content or audio content? Because they're saying here that there's visual content and audio content distinctions. And let's see the difference between visual and audio content. So here's explaining the differences. When you see a copyright claim on YouTube Studios, types tells you exactly what the automated content ID system matches his database. Even if you aren't playing music, liminal space gain can trigger these claims due to specific visual, style, or ambient noises. What detects the scans? If for cutscenes, unique textures, character models, or specific cinematic sequences that the developer or movie studio has registered. Why it happens in games. Liminal space games, certain iconic rooms or transitions might be registered as reference files. Even if you are just walking around, the system sees a match for those visual patterns. Fixing it. You cannot mute visual claim. You would need to trim out specific segment or dispute the claim if you have permission to show the gameplay. What detects? This includes background, ambience, wind noises, jump scares, sounds, or even specific footsteps. Many horror games stock ambient loops like humming, lights, or wind. This is used for movies or media. If recorded label or sound library has registered that specific sound loop, your video is flagged, even if it's just noise to you. All right. YouTube provides erase song, which can sometimes intelligently remove just claim sound while keeping your commentary. Detection matches and frames pixels. Matches sound frequencies. Con triggers. Cutscenes, iron, iconic rooms, ambient, wind drone, or stock SFX. Ad revenue goes to owner. Video may be muted or revenue shared. Studio tool segment must be trimmed. It can be muted or replaced with song. In Mermaid, there's a company or asset name listed in your seat details page about the claim. So there should be information about who claimed it, if it was video or if it was audio or video, to make the distinction between the two. Okay, and keep the channel safe. You need to know the difference between copyright claim, not big deal, and strike, serious trouble. A claim usually just means the copyright owner takes the ad money from your video, while a strike is penalty that can get your channel cleared if you get it 3 times. How to avoid claims. Use the auto library. Only use music from the YouTube Studio library or royalty-free sites like Endemic Sounds. Talk over games. Adding commentary makes your video transformative. If you just upload raw gameplay of liminal space with no talking, the bot is more likely The flag, the ambient sounds, or visuals as direct copy. Check before publishing. Use the checks feature during upload process. YouTube will tell you if it finds a match before the video goes public, giving you a chance to mute the sound or trim the clip. Permission. Okay, so how to avoid the copyright? So that's copyright claims. This is something more serious. Copyright strike. Strikes usually happen when a human or a company manually reports the video. Permission is key. If you're playing an indie game, this is nothing necessarily to do with you, of what you are going through, but this is just the educational purposes. If you're playing an indie game, check the developer's website for a press kit or a statement saying you have permission to monetize gameplay. Avoid leak content. Never post trailers before they are officially out or use clips from movies and TV shows, as these are high risk for manual takedowns. Keep it short. If you must use a clip that isn't yours, keep it short, usually under 5 to 10 seconds, and ensure it's necessary for a review or educational point in your making. Oh, that is so cool. Fixing Spider-Man game. And they had reptile people in the game. Oh, definitely. Sounds like a cool game. And I love Spider-Man. I love those movies. And yeah, the definitely reptiles would be involved in that because Spider-Man would get rid of those. Glad they put that in the game. If you are criticizing, reacting, or parodying something, you might periodically by saying fair use. However, fair use is legal defense, not a magical shield. YouTube's bots don't understand it, so you might still have a dispute a claim by explaining that your video is original commentary. Right. And let's see, this part. Oh, Shell, hello to you. Hey to you. Hey, hey. And thank you for stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate it. Shout out to you. I've got to handle my muscle now. Okay, let's see this other part. And oh, how about this? Okay. Copyright claims happen during process because YouTube's automated content ID system immediately scans the video and compares its digital fingerprints against a massive database of files submitted by copyright owners. This system identifies matches in audio like background music or sound effects and visual like game textures. Yeah, howdy show. Yes. Visuals and games textures and cutscenes before you even hit publish. Automated checks tools. As you upload a specific YouTube check step, runs for about 3 to 5 minutes. It's designed to warn you about potential restrictions so you can fix them, like muting a sound or trimming a clip before the video goes live. Oh, okay, Shell. It's just something you've been doing lately. Okay. And you've been popping in and out of SNS. Yeah, I haven't seen you much around. So And I hope everything's going well with you. And it's always a, a gift to see you pop in when you're able to. And digital fingerprint. The system creates a unique fingerprint of your files, sound, and video patterns, and looks for matches in a database for original works. Policy settings. When a match is found, the system applies the specific policy chosen by the copyright owner, usually to monetize, take revenue, and track the stats or block the video. Even without the music, the liminal space or horror game can trigger a claim due to ambient loops, ambient sounds, or wind loops. Registering if it's registered in a content ID system, and visual assets, high quality, unique visual sequences can be fingerprinted to the system and detect if you are showing those specific games frames without adding enough transformative commentary. Okay, why blocked? Let's see, why blocked? When video is blocked during a YouTube upload process, it means the copyright owner has set specific policy to prevent their content from being viewed by public. This is more restrictive than standard claims where video stays up but the owner takes the money. Owner's policy. The copyright owners can choose between monetize, track, or block when their content is found. They choose block the video is hidden from viewers because the owner does not want that specific asset, visual or audio, used in YouTube at all. Geographic restrictions. A video might be partially blocked, meaning it's invisible in certain countries but viewable in others. This often happens because of local licensing deals. Company owns the rights Europe but not in the USA. Content. Never allow list. Some high-profile companies like Disney or major labels put certain iconic assets on a strict never allow list. The system detects these blocks the video immediately. Shorts limitations. For YouTube shorts between 1 to 3 minutes, any active content ID claim will automatically result in the video being blocked regardless of the owner's typical preference. Finding the video, however, in copyright in the restrictive column, click see details to show specific segment between flagged and whether it is worldwide block or only in specific regions. All right, let's talk about, let's see both. Okay, using a trim mute tool. You just so this is how someone could trim mute something. If you just want to trim want a video just okay, I'm gonna speak English right now. Okay. If you just want the video up and don't mind losing a small segment, use the built-in editor. This is the fastest way to fix a block without legal headache. Trim out segment. This physically cuts the flagged portion out of your video. YouTube will reprocess the file, and once the bad part right. Exactly, Mermaid. Yeah. Scared. Okay, Mermaid, understood. Physical cut physically cuts flag portion out of your video, YouTube will reprocess the file, and once the bad part is gone, the block automatically lifted. Mute audio if the block is caused by a sound effect or ambient loop. You can choose mute all sound when song plays. Erase song. The latter tries to remove only the claimed sound while keeping your voice, though it doesn't always work perfectly. Replace audio. You can swap the flag audio with a free track from YouTube Audio Library. Only do this if you are 100% sure you have the right to use the content and license the game developer explicitly allows it. Right. Copyright detail window. Click select action in the dispute. Number 2. Check the box that says my dispute isn't based on any of the reasons above. Most people mistakenly click I own a copy. Select the reasons. Fair use if you add a commentary, transfer, or license. If the developer gave permission. Write a brief explanation for liminal space games. You might say, this is original gameplay of the game name with my own transformative commentary editing. Developer permits gameplay uploads. Once you dispute the copyright, the owner has 30 days to respond. If they can either release the claim, the video goes live, or uphold the claim, video stays blocked, or the file form takedown. This leads to a strike most of the time. Indie games, they simply release the claim or don't respond, and the video goes live automatically for 30 days. Let's see. All right, review policy. A set of rules created by game developers that explicitly tells you what you cannot do with the game. Footage on a platform like YouTube or Twitch. Since the gameplay is technically derivative work of the developer, a copyright art, they have the legal rights to block or claim any video featuring it. Most modern developers, especially indie horror, I'm cutting it short again. I did that a lot today. I tried to stop. Yeah, Mermaid, it is gonna be tough, and that the whatever you need to help to assist you with that it can be given to you, and the one that can and can't are both correct. I do think, and when as when you think of thoughts as like a cloud passing by, you don't always have to uh, look at the cloud. You can just like watch it pass by. And I also hear what you're saying, and thank you for updating me about it. And I think you've made a lot of progress though over time. It's Rome wasn't built in a day, and eventually you'll get it right. Oh yeah, you will, Mermaid. As I said, I think you've done a lot of progress. Think like a year ago, you've done much better since last year and before that. So I do think that over time, eventually you'll kick it. I know you will. But thank you for updating me about your progress. Absolutely. Most modern developers, especially the indie horror limb space creators, provide permissive policy because they see your video as free advertising. All right. Monetization. Most policies allow you to earn money through YouTube's partner program or Twitch bits donation. However, they often forbid you from putting video behind private paywall, like making money, pay people directly to see. Transformation content. Many developers require you to add your own value, such as commentary, reviews, or educational tips, posting raw gameplay with voiceover editing. The most common reason for video to be blocked or claimed. Music and sound. Developers often warn that while they own game codes, they might not own the music or sound loops used in the game. If a third party owns that audio, the developer's policy can protect you from audio content claims. Non-commercial use. You usually cannot use game footage, to sell related products or imply that the developer is officially sponsoring your channel. Check official website. Look for the link label, press legal or video policy. At the bottom of the page, look for press kit, search for game press kit. These often include video policy section or a statement like you are free, create, monetize video or for your game. You assumed. Steam page Discord. Check the game Steam community hub or official Discord. Developers often pin posts regarding their stance or streaming YouTube content. All right. And I will be wrapping it up. And you could go get that. If you're going to go do something, the video, the game thing, you could do that. Because if there's some things that I need to get done. Now, later tonight, I'll be doing that live stream about that other thing. Yeah. The Garden Live. That's what I meant. Okay. That'll be something pretty cool for everybody to see. Right? And let's right here. And yeah, so as I said, I think that we had a pretty good stream, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you all later on. And thank you all for coming, and peace.